Welcome to Yeshiva Daf. We're holding in Chulin Daf Pei Gimel, and we're starting in the Mishnah in Amud Aleph. Says the Mishnah, "Ba'arba prokim b'shana, 4 times a year, hamoicher be'imo lechaveiroi tzorich lo yidiyah. Imo macharti l'shchot, bit macharti l'shchot." 4 times a year, Pei Gimel in the Mishnah. So, 4 times a year, you must go and tell the buyer, I just sold the mother or the child l'shchita. I have to tell. These 4 times a year. Why 4 times a year? Because all times a year you can say, I don't know why you bought this animal. You may bought it for a charisha. Maybe you're doing shchita, but not today. Well, why should I assume you're doing it today? So I have to tell you. But 4 times a year, it's clear, it's obvious he's going to shechta today. So they tell him, listen, I sent today to the mother. You can't shechta today. I shechta today the son. You can't shechta today because oysav is b'noi. What are the 4 times that it's obvious he's doing for shechita and today? Ve'eluhem, yoim tov v'achron shechag, which is the last day of Sukkot. Why not the first day? Because the first day people are busy with the lulav and esrog, and they're too accompanied, too busy. Rashi says also Yom Tov is a regular for Yatzmo, Choviv Aleim. Ve'erev Yom Tovishon Shepesach. Then we have, even if you don't occur Pesach, you have a special seder of all the food. Ve'erev Atzeres, Erev Shavuos, and Erev Rosh Hashanah. These are the 4 times we have a special called one day Yom Tov where we put in people shecht meat. Okay, very basic. Lili af Erev Yom Kippurim begolil. Why can very basic Lili? Because then they used to also do meat and not. Terry speaks over here that they used to eat chicken other places, but by basic Lili they used to eat meat. Mean there's no, he sold the mother the same day. But if he sold the mother the day before, he can assume that the mother was shot the day before. If you sell the mother cow to the chasson and the bas cow to the child of the calf to the kala, shetzich lo idea. Why? When you have a chassan, you shech the day of the chassan. Not like the day you before, that's for sure doing the same day. Now that's the nekuda number 1. So if it was the day before, it could be the day before, not like chasana, where you say everybody did it for that day. Which means, doing this 4 times, one can come and force the butcher to shech the animal. Oh, what does it mean? It's like say the Mishnah. Let's say this animal is worth 1,000. The buyer bought a share of 1. He has a share of 1. Now the guy says, listen, I didn't sell yet the other 999. I'm waiting. He says, no. I bought a share because I need meat for today. These 4 times a year, you could force the butcher to go and shecht. Lefikach, therefore, if you're telling me that he's considered to be the owner, and therefore he can force it, he mace talokech. If it died, so the buyer is the one to lose. The other year, there's the year the Kamoichi can say, no, I'm not selling it. I'm not selling right now. So the seller advice says, what do you mean? I need meat. I'll give you back your money. In other words, it's not really owned by the buyer because the buyer doesn't have any control on it. Very good. So if he did not any outside, he doesn't have to be choishish to it. You can assume the mother or the child would not sold that day. We talk about if he has no revach, he sold it 1 day earlier, you say it was done before. And then it says for chassan kala, the mother to the chassan and the child to the kala, you do have a din. Why? Why you say that thing? Why are you saying? Why you specifically said the mother goes to the chassan and the child goes to the kala? They're going to tell you always the meat of the chassan. It's busier by the chassan than by the kala in terms of food. Not like today, but today the chassan is by the kala takes care of it. But those days you're doing more the suda by the chassan than by the kala, and therefore the bigger animal goes to the chassan and the smaller one goes to the kala. We learned that the buyer can force the seller to sell, to shecht. Says one second about one makes him an owner of this portion. He did the Mashiach. Yachim, a saving the next part of the Mishnah. Figure he makes me. In other words, he can't force it. In other words, the seller gave this portion to the buyer, the zikri. Shmuel gave Beryl in order for him to be mizakeh to Yankov. It says chus for him to have meat because everybody needs meat. So I don't want it. Now if I have it, I don't have an ownership. It's money. I have to pay for it. Who said I want to pay for it? So then is so we're talking about that someone else was zakeh for him, and then we have a discussion. It's really not Torah by giving money, it's yours. You know what? Come and say, sorry, your wheat got burned. So if we said until you don't take it, you're not buying it. But by we went back to Din Torah. So in other words, whenever in all the cases he gave the money, 4 times a year, giving the money is enough for him to become the owner. So the Mishnah. When you speak about Yom Echad, we said do not check the mother and the child in the same day. The day comes after the night. Like any other thing that we do in Yom Tov, Tisha B'Av, every day. And then we have the day after the night. We talked about Kachim. Remember the Gemara said earlier that I says next to Kachim. That's why I know by Kachim Zoyis Vezbroi. By Kachim night comes after the day. How do we know? Because you bring a korban and you eat that night. Night comes after the day. Spoke about in Zvachim a little bit. The idea that Chassidus brings that not going down too much, but usually night comes before the day because Olam Hazeh comes before Olam Haba. But by Kachim, we're more focused on doing the mitzvahs. So Olam Hazeh is the day and Olam Haba is the night. That's what Chassidus says. So that's why we have Kachim, the night comes after the day. Because it's connected to Tzaddikim. So the din will be you can't check the mother and the child, mother during the day, child during the night. The Markad Yom Echad, the Ma'amai Sebeishas Yom Echad says Yom Echad by both. My Yom Echad Amur Ma'amai Sebeishas Yom Echad Haralaylo. The Yom Echad Amur Bois Sebeishas Yom Echad Haralaylo. The day comes after the night. So what's the din? If you shecht the child in the night, or the mother in the night, you can't shecht the mother of the child the next morning. Rabbi Yoimer Yom Echad, without picking on the base, Rabbi Yoimer Yom Echad Yoim Ami Yuchod. It says Yom Echad to teach you something else. It's a special day. The what? Yoim Miyuchad Ton Koris. Meaning, for the days of Miyuchad, you have to come and announce that you were shechted the mother of the child, as we said in the Mishnah, previous Mishnah. Koris means you have to announce it. That's Yom Miyuchad for Achraza. So another Josh Yom Miyuchad. And with this, we conclude the fifth paragraph of Maseches Chulin, Hadron L'Chois Ve'ezbnoi, Hadron L'Chois Ve'ezbnoi Be'ezer Hashem. Starting the sixth paragraph of the Masechet. Kisui Adam. What's the meaning of Kisui Adam? When you shecht a chayo or a oif, you have to go and cover the blood. Chayo v'oif is the only thing, or the things that require kisui. Be'emo does not require kisui Adam. Kisui Adam ne'eg ba'aretz u'v'chutzortz. It's all chutzortz. Rashi says it's not a chiddush. Of course, it's not totally ba'aretz. B'ifnei abayis, shom b'ifnei abayis, doesn't matter if you have a b'sivinish or not. Be'chulin of loy b'mukdoshim. Has to be dafka by chulin, not by hekdesh. We'll see in the Gemara in the next daf why hekdesh does not have kisui Adam. V'noyeg b'chaya u've'oif, as we mentioned. U'b'mezun u'mshein mezun. Doesn't matter if you own it or not. You always have to do kisui Adam. Rashi says that a chiddush is just saying because of shiluch haken. We'll speak about later. V'noyeg b'koi, meaning a koi, which is something famous of chaya. You have to do kisui Adam b'yishu safek. You don't check the koi b'yontiv because I'm not sure if you do kisui Adam or not. If it's a safek. If you did check it, you don't cover the blood because I don't know if you're not supposed to. Because maybe it's a be'ema, it's not required kisui Adam. So the Gemara, oh, mukdoshim my time, oh, why? What? Muktzeh. Anyway, oh, so that's a discussion there. More in Beit. So, can you prepare it? Is it bottle dietary or not? Okay. It's considered to be also chilul yomtiv because the muktzeh is one side. Like more there in Beit brings. Is it a muktzeh or is it didn't have chilul yomtiv? Okay, we're saying. If it will be be'im, if it will be chayo, yes. If it's be'im or not, that's what we're not sure. So, come on, mukdoshi by time. I said next stuff. It's actually this stuff. What's happening when mukdosh when I don't kisui Adam? Says the Gemara, you should have zeiro, don't zeiro. Yechezkel, you know for lamato, for lamalo. You have to put earth beneath the blood and above the blood. Sheneemar v'shafach is the mo'id v'chisou b'ofor. It says you spill the blood and you cover it with blood. Be'ofor. Ofor lo neemar ela be'ofor. Melamed sha'shechet tzritin ofor lamato v'ofor lamalo. That was, it has to be surrounded with offer. They can't do that. Why? Hey, leave it. If you want to put sand below, earth below the blood on the mizbeach and mivatel it, you're adding to the base of English, to the mizbeach. You can't add to the base of English. You have chatzit to the mizbeach and the blood. Says when he the lamato lo yefshor, lamalo yefshor. Okay, I understand. You can't put blood. You can't put earth below the blood because of chatzitzo. But you can put it above the blood. So do it above. Miletanya avinis b'yesem vayim shogat chayav shogat beimo. He shot the chayav has the blood on the bottom. Then he has beimo, the blood of the beimo on top. Patum lechasois. Why? Because the blood of the beimo is above. Beimo chayav is the opposite. First, even though you can't do the bottom. Similar to Abzeiro. Tomar Abzeiro kol ro'i lebilo in bilo makevas boy. V'kol she'eino ro'i lebilo bilo makevas boy. You have to be able to do it. If you didn't do it, it's fine. But you have to be able to do it similar to the bill. The bill it's referring to when you have person donated 61 Israelim of flour. So you could have to do 60 and 1. Why? Because you have to be able to mix the oil. Says the Gemara, but you don't have to put the oil if you don't want to. Yeah, but you have to be able to mix the oil if you want to. So here you have to be able to put the blood, to put the earth below. In this case, he did the behavior below. But in the Bais English, you can't do it because of his back. Says the Gemara, why don't I just remove the blood for this back and then cover it? Which spritzed out. And it's on the knife. You can't do it on the knife. You rub it out and you do kisui. Take it out of the mizbeach and cover it. So the more you're right. I have a solution for mizbeach. We're talking about he donated to Bedek Habayis, and you're not supposed to shecht it. So shchita she'eina ruya, and therefore there's no kisui. Says the Gemara that Fridan with Aleph, V'lifikinu, v'lichasinu. So what's the problem? Just redeem them. So they're not kosher v'ligabayis, then you can cover them. We can't redeem them unless you make them stand, which means you need to have them alive. You have to make a mother, make them stand and evaluate them. So he holds you always have to evaluate the animal, regardless if it belongs to Kosher Yisbech, Kosher B'Yisrabayis. He holds the shchita is okay, even though you're not allowed to enjoy it. Because he holds every shchita is okay. If you go according to one that holds, shchita is not shchita. He holds to Shimon that you don't have to have the animal stand on its feet to do Amad Varocha. So you can redeem it even if it's dead. So what we saw yesterday's daf regarding Parah Aduma. It's Rebbe, and he's thinking both shittas. The shchita she'eina ruya is like Rav Shimon. The shchita she'eina ruya is not good shchita. So if it's bedek habayis, it's shchita she'eina ruya. But Amad Varocha is like Rav Meir, then you need to have Amad Varocha so you can redeem it. That's one answer. If I say more, Kulav Shimoni, Shani Achod Omakov is Shafach Nechiso. It says you spill the blood and you cover it. You have to be, the only thing you need to do is let the blood go down and cover it. Here you have to redeem it as well. You're missing another stage. Yeah, after you spill it, you have to redeem it. Now you're not required to. That's not part of the mitzvah. So if I ask the dose, look, how do you get to this answer? If you tell the kosher is back, you don't have to go to kosher b'dikabayis. Kosher is back. The answer is what do you say if the kosher is back? You have to remove in his back. So you have to do another action. Right? So that's what we learned. So again, when the Gemara is asking, we're talking about kodesh. How do I know that kodesh doesn't have to have kisui adam? How do we know that? So the Gemara starts saying because you can't do kisui adam in his back. So the Gemara to remove in his back. So the Gemara knows kosher v'dikabayis. Kosher v'dikabayis, you can't. It's not good shchita. So if it's not good shchita, so redeem it. So you have to have Amod Varocha. So answer number one is it's Rebbe who holds you have to have Amod Varocha. You can't redeem if it's not alive, and you can't redeem it right now. Answer number two is you need to have only shvicha and kisu. You have something in the middle. Here you have to redeem it. More so the previous answer, Kodesh Yisbech, same thing. You have to do grief to remove him his back. So if you have to do something in between, it's not no deal. Now the Gemara goes to another answer. Comparing the chayah to the oif, they both need kisui adam. Ma chayah in a kodesh. Why chayah is not kodesh? Because you cannot. There's no such thing. A non-domestic animal cannot come as a korban. Oif in a kodesh. So oif is not kodesh. There's never kodesh. In other words, the kisui adam that says b'chayah b'oif is not kodesh. In my chayah shein b'mino kodesh, oif shein b'mino kodesh. So you may not say someone that doesn't have b'mino kodesh. Oitzi toyim neyoina sheyesh b'mino kodesh. Mean toyim neyoina could be kodesh. So maybe I'll take that out. Says the Gemara, meaning that what? There won't be kisui adam by toyim u'bneyoina because they could be kodesh. So in other words, we'll say the same way chayo they never could be kodesh. She'ein b'mino kodesh. So oifus only the ones will never be kodesh like a chicken. But toyim b'oif it will never have kisui adam. So the Gemara lo kechayah. Machayah lo chilakta bo af oif lo tachlo kodesh. So the Gemara says no. We just say chayah. There's no difference that there's no chilakta. There's no chalukah. There always what you have to have kisui. So oif the same thing, and you're not going to be chalukah. You're not going to say some have to have kisui, some have to have kisui. So you have to have. So the by Chulin, you not differentiate between the chayah and the oif. And by kachim, you're saying there's no such thing as kisui adam by kachim because you're learning oif from chayah. But say it goes. That was daf Gimel.